Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be discussing Peeta Mellark, victor of the 74th Hunger Games, and I'm talking about some of his victims. When it comes to people like Katniss or Cato, we have a much more clear and concise idea of who it was that they removed from existence, who it was that they had a hand in the direct elimination of. But with Peeta, he's someone that's a little bit odd because not too many times do we directly see him kill another tribute, and so today I'm going to kind of just conversationally discuss some of his victims over the course of the Hunger Games franchise. And as always, if you like Hunger Games content, then of course subscribe. Lots more videos to come, of course. So, Peeta's victims. I would put his victims in squarely into two categories. The first category is people who he for sure killed. The second category is people who he indirectly killed or accidentally had a hand in killing. I know that some people on the wiki and other places count these as kills of his or his victims. I absolutely do not, and I will get into that when I get into the second portion of this video. So the first victim I want to discuss is during his games, he killed the girl from District 8, the District 8 female tribute. She was by herself in the woods on the night of the cornucopia bloodbath. If you watch the movie, you'll remember on the night of the bloodbath, Katniss is up in a tree, she's tied up, and she looks over in the distance and she sees a fire somewhere in the trees. She shakes her head like, what a dumb idea, who would draw attention to themselves in the middle of the arena. And the person doing that is the girl from District 8. Now, around this time, Peeta, and obviously spoilers galore, around this time, Peeta is with the career pack. He's traveling with them, he is being a little bit of a double agent at this time, and he is trying really hard to not win them over, but perhaps convince them of his loyalty or his usefulness to them. And when he's traveling with them, they all as a group come up to the girl from District 8, and Cato with his broadsword, we assume Cato, basically kills her. They walk off, all laughing, joking, mocking the girl who they just killed, the girl from 8. If I'm not mistaken, in the movie, she's killed immediately. Right when they stumble upon her, the cannon goes off, she screams, the cannon goes off right away, she's gone. But in the book, it is actually Peeta who ends her. In the book, they basically kill her and they walk off, but the cannon doesn't go off, and they're like, what's going on? I don't understand. Peeta's basically like, oh, she's probably not dead, let me go check on her, and he goes and he ends her life. And when he rejoins the careers, he's basically saying, she's dead now, I killed her. That's when the cannon goes off, and she is the first official victim of Peeta Mellark. Alright, so I just double checked in the book, and I don't see any mention of how Peeta kills her. I would have swore he killed her with a knife. Maybe I made it up, and maybe he mentions it at another point. If anyone knows if I'm psychotic or if it actually mentions it somewhere in one of the guides or something, please let me know. I genuinely want to know. But either way, she is his first victim. Now, the second victim of his isn't until a little bit later, the second official victim, and it is at the beginning of Catching Fire. Well, at the beginning of the games and Catching Fire. Now, at the beginning, there's people in the water, there's people swimming, there's people running to the cornucopia. Katniss is frantic, she's looking for Peeta, and Mags finds Peeta, she points him out to Finnick, and Katniss as well, of course, and Peeta's in the water fighting the male tribute from District 9.
Hi, this is Leroy from the future. I just wanted to say that it is not the male tribute from District 9, it's actually the male tribute from District 10. So all the times I say District 9, I'm specifically referring to the male tribute from District 10. Thanks.
They're both floating in the water, they're grappling around, they're punching each other, they're trading hits, then they both go underwater. While they're underwater, there's a moment of tension, we don't see what happens. Katniss is looking very, very scared at the moment, I remember. Then we see a body float up to the surface face down, cannon goes off, not looking good, we can't tell who it is. Of course, plot armor as his protection, Peeta resurfaces from the water, perfectly, pretty unharmed, and that is his second notch in his belt, his second official victim in the series. The male district tribute from 9, he wasn't really about nothing anyway, not really important to anything, although I guess we could say the same thing for the female from District 8 in the 74th games. Now, he does have one other official kill in Catching Fire, and that is Brutus. Now, towards the end of the movie, things get a little bit chaotic. Things are dark, there's a lot of stuff going on. And, after Chaff is killed by Brutus, Peeta then kills Brutus. And, it's shortly before Katniss destroys the force field. And in this, Brutus is very strong, he's very powerful, he's considered one of the more stronger tributes. Yes, he's a little bit older, but he's tall, he's big, he's buff. He's, pretty ruthless. He's running around with Inabaria throughout most of the movie, or the book. And for Peeta to be able to hold his own against this hulking man is pretty impressive. Not like when he was fighting the male from District 9, another grown man, but, Peeta's no slouch. He's always been strong. Although I always would consider Brutus to be, especially Brutus being a career, a bit more of a stronger opponent than a guy from one of the outlying districts. Now is the part where we enter into territory that's a bit more dicey, and that is the second category of this video. These are people he kind of accidentally killed that some people have the nerve to consider his victims. I'm sorry, if he didn't try to kill them, I don't consider it, a victim. I mean, some of them maybe. You can be the judge of that. The first one is in the Hunger Games. Now, at the end of the movie, when Peeta and Katniss are both fighting Cato on top of the cornucopia and the mutts are surrounding, Peeta and Cato are really fighting here, and Peeta is the one who throws Cato to the mutts, basically. And once he's down there, he is just getting mauled. He's getting eaten alive. He's being attacked. He doesn't even have the strength to fight off all these animals, off these abominations, really. And he's begging to be put out of his misery. Katniss then has the mercy of, she does a mercy kill. She shoots him in the face or something, whatever, with one of her arrows. And so, in my opinion, that should have been Peeta's kill, really, because if Katniss had abstained from shooting the arrow, Cato obviously would have died anyway. He was already wounded. He was down there. He was getting mauled by the mutts. So Peeta, I think Peeta really should be credited with that kill. Katniss kind of stole his kill out from under him. Not that it's a competition in regards to kill count, but if it was, I would say that Peeta was shortchanged with that one. I think the toppling Cato, the arguably strongest tribute in 74th Games, I think it was Peeta's kill, really. I know he wasn't the only one. I know him and Katniss were both kind of fighting him off simultaneously because he was pretty aggressive and a bit unhinged at that time. Cato, I mean. But yeah, so some people kind of consider this sort of a kill of Peeta's. I can kind of see it, but at the end of the day, Katniss was the one who, literally just definitively ended Cato's life. So I think you can't really argue it. Generally, I would say it's definitely Katniss who killed him. Peeta helped, but it was really Katniss at the end of the day. Although if it wasn't for Peeta, she wouldn't even have had the opportunity to kill him. But at that point, we're just getting into weird territory for just fruitless debating, we could even say. A little bit before that in the movie, Peeta is gathering berries. He unwittingly gathers poisonous berries. Nightlock, he leaves them unattended, and Foxface, who has been creeping and stalking and just lurking, following them around, following Peeta and Katniss around, she moseys on over and eats the berries. And because they're poisonous, obviously she dies immediately, and cannon goes off. I don't think that this is a kill that should be accredited to Peeta. Whether it was accidental or intentfully, whether she ate it on purpose, knowingly that they were poisoned, or whether it was an accident, it's a different conversation. But either way, her dying should not be attributed to Peeta. He just totally did that by accident. He wasn't even around when she ate them. It was not premeditated. I absolutely do not think this should count as one of his kills. People say it is. I absolutely am of the party that says absolutely not. This is not one of his kills. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not one of his kills. I'm sorry. Now, the next kill that people attribute to Peeta, and I think this one rightfully so, but it's kind of unintentional. It's kind of accidental, but it is his fault for sure. And it was done with malicious intent. I don't think the intent was to kill, but he died either way, and this was Mitchell. In the Mockingjay book, and don't ask me which of the movies it was, Mockingjay Part 1 or 2, I don't remember, but in the book Mockingjay, when Peeta is traveling with the Star Squad, is that what they were called? And they're traveling with the Leagues and Boggs and Katniss through the deserted capital, and they're trying to get through all of these pods filled with all these booby traps. There's a part where Peeta kind of flips out, and he kicks Mitchell. Because Peeta is hijacked, he kind of loses control when some of the pods start going off, and he flips out and he immediately starts trying to kill Katniss. At this point, Mitchell leaps into action to save Katniss from Peeta, which he does, but Peeta freaks out and he pushes Mitchell into the black goo, the pod. I guess it's different from the movie and the books. They're different pods, but it's basically, either way, it's still his fault that Mitchell dies. Mitchell dies horribly in both the book and the movie in different ways. Yeah, it's completely Peeta's fault, I would definitely say. And there's no saving him, and he dies, and it's really brutal. And R.I.P. Mitchell. We liked Mitchell. We stand Mitchell. We supported Mitchell, and he had no business being killed off like this. Now, Mitchell dying was a direct result of Peeta's actions. I don't know if anybody would really debate this one. I personally I would consider this one of Peeta's kills for sure. Definitely this one, because he actively attacked this man, and this man died as a result. In a most unfortunate manner, mind you. Now, there's one other kill that people are saying, and to me, this is absolutely a huge reach. I really, really don't see it. And this was Seneca Crane, saying that because he, because Peeta along with Katniss ate the berries, or I'm sorry, Because Pete and Katniss, made the decision to eat the berries. They didn't eat them, obviously. The game makers, namely Seneca Crane, who was the head game maker at the time of the 74th annual Hunger Games, he had to call off, them killing themselves, and he kind of gave them both, like, the dual victory, which was unheard of up until that point. And as a result, for kind of sparking, well, I won't say sparking the rebellion, but kind of making the Capitol look really bad, President Snow locked up Seneca Crane in a room with the berries, basically made it so that he has to kill himself by eating the berries themselves. And this was all a direct result of what happened in the arena at the end of the games with Katniss and Peeta, and the Nightlock berries. And people are saying that the Seneca Crane's death should count as one of Peeta and Katniss's kills. I think this is absurd. I mean, there's like a whole chain of events that lead up to Seneca Crane. Yes, his death is related to what they did, but no, this absolutely should not be counted as one of their kills, because if you're going by that logic, then maybe you're going to count every person who died in the ensuing rebellion as one of Katniss and Peeta's kills. And I actually saw this on a wiki, not the official Hunger Games wiki. It was a different wiki. I think it was a wiki for like characters in movies or books and like how many kills they have, like a kill count wiki or something weird like that. Which I don't even know why something like that exists, like on its own as an independent thing. I think that's really odd and overly specific. But yeah, so I don't know why they would put that on there. Somebody had too much time to think. Although I guess we could say that for me and maybe everybody who's in my comments, because I guess we all have too much time to, just meander mindlessly on all these minute details and like reading between the lines of things when they probably weren't that deep to begin with. So this is my video on Peeta's kills and his not kills, if you ask me. What do you think? I'm sure some of you have some opinions that will directly contradict mine, and I definitely welcome that. I am officially back from my little bit of a hiatus, a little 2-month break. Didn't mean for it to go that long. Life happens, but I definitely don't plan on abandoning the channel like I did in the past. I actually have a crap load of videos planned out completely. I think I'm going to try to upload 8 this month, 2 a week. Don't ask me which days. I'm not going to be that consistent to have a specific schedule, but I'm going to try to post 2 videos a week. If you like the Hunger Games, of course, subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. And I will also be posting stuff relating to other fandoms here and there, but for now my focus is primarily on the Hunger Games, and I plan on posting a lot more, especially as we're getting much closer to the release of the new book, which takes place over the 50th Hunger Games, the Quarter Quell, and the games that Hamish Abernathy was the victor of. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Like if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.